So I found a video called "How to Be a Good Game Reviewer." This is by Videogamedunkey. This dude is hilarious. I used to watch him back in the day, and then I just stopped.
Welcome to IGN, kid. So you're our new reviewer, huh? I'll be your handler, Walter White. I'm gonna show you how to do a good game review. Polly, bring up that one stupid
It's wild
ass
that
one.
was an actual meta. It's disgusting and amazing at the same time. I kind of
Immortals
love
of
it.
Avium is an impressively confident first-person shooter.
They need to keep this guy on the reviews. 8 out of 10. Good thinking.
Just
He's
biological
an all-pro.
warfare.
Now, Polly, bring up one of our bad reviews that we like to do.
Bro.
Monotonous micromanagement, a poor
Bro.
interface, and by-the-numbers combat.
This game scored a 75 out of 100 rating for PS5 on Metacritic from the critics. Seems pretty decent, unlike this review. 4 out of 10. Fucking amateur. I remember this kid. He was nice. Quit the next day. Polly, get this shit show off the screen. Put on our Boulder's Cape review.
Baldur's Gate 3 is just about everything I could have asked for.
Oh boy, IGN really made a comeback. 10
my
out of
God.
10.
Yeah,
Good
dude,
thinking.
it's crazy. It's funny to, it's like, oh yeah, this game that's an obvious masterpiece and that literally nobody could say it's bad. The game reviewers said that it was good. Oh, they're so based and true. Oh my God, they're so good at their job all of a sudden. IGN can be trusted again because they gave Baldur's Gate a 3 out of 3, or a 10 out of 10. The game that literally everybody in the entire industry was sucking it off. Like, alright, come on, guys, come on.
The shallow number of samey maps can get monotonous pretty quickly.
This game looks like shit. No way this dude has played other horror asymmetricals or even understands the genre.
If you've played any asymmetrical horror game, be that Dead by Daylight or Friday the 13th,
Friday the 13th was the greatest game I had ever played in my entire life. I loved that game. I no-lifed Friday the 13th until the day that the lawsuit happened. Dead by Daylight is absolute garbage compared to Friday the 13th. Absolute garbage. So the day Friday the 13th came out, I had it on the Xbox One. I got it day one. I knew I was going to be hyped to play it. And I'm not even a big horror guy. Never played it. It looked cool though. Better than D&D. I'm biased or DVD. Yeah. I really hate DVD. It was way better. It was way better. And you have every right to hate Dead by Daylight. So Friday the 13th came out on Xbox and it was completely broken. You could not play it online at all. It was impossible because it would just crash anytime anybody loaded into the servers. But that did a beautiful thing because you could still play private matches. So nobody at all, from this point till the end of the game's life, nobody played in public matches at all. And there were literally thousands, tens of thousands of active groups looking for people at a time that were like, you have to be an adult, you have to have a mic active to play. So immediately that made it better out of the gate. And then you would hop into these games and you would play these people and
Surprise,
everybody's
motherfucker.
what up, Remy? And everybody's working together and having a good time. Dude, I got so good at this game as a survivor that I would just beat the shit out of Jason with a baseball bat constantly. I killed Jason probably 100 freaking times. This was the greatest game, the greatest asymmetrical game of all time. And you could actually talk to each other. There was proximity voice chat. It was scary as hell. When Jason's hunting you down, or you're like walking around through the woods, going to the next cabin to try to find a car key or something to escape, and then you just hear someone far off in the distance just screaming for their life because Jason's chasing them down. Like, it was pure amazing chaos. And then the guys who owned Friday the 13th, the IP, not the game, the IP, decided that they actually didn't want Friday the 13th to be able to be a game anymore. So they sued them to make it to where Friday the 13th could not make any DLCs at all, period, for the game. No expansions, they couldn't even update the game past basic functionality. That was it. They could not add anything to the game. Not for free, not for paid. And so it killed the game immediately. It was absolutely disgusting behavior by the owners of the franchise. It was horrible. Yeah, honestly. My thing with Dead by Daylight is purely selfish, to be fair. I never played it. I just don't enjoy watching it. No, Dead by Daylight sucks. There's no voice chat in it at all. That immediately destroys the whole asymmetrical aspect of it. There was every cool character you had to pay $20 for. Like there were so many downs. Killing somebody, you knock someone down with your weapon and then you stab them on a meat hook and then you just have to watch them and sit there. That's a dumb mechanic. You know what it was like in Friday the 13th? If you got someone, you could pick them up and break their spine over your knee and they were fucking dead. And the only way they could come back is if you summoned the special guy who came in with a shotgun, Tommy. Like, it was so cool. It was perfect. It was way better. There was no, oh, I'm going to stab him up and put him on a hook, and now we have to watch him. No, Jason would teleport to your ass and put a machete in your face. It was so cool. You'd only stop Jason, never kill. Well, that's not true. Not in the game. No, it is true, but only in a way. So, in the game, you are right. But in the game, you could, if you did all these weird things, so you could call in Tommy with the radio, and then if a girl character went and stole the sweater from Jason's hut, Tommy could then walk up, and if Tommy stunned Jason, the girl could put the sweater on Jason and then talk to him, and then if Tommy was wielding a machete at that point or an axe, he could cut Jason's head off. Dude, oh my god. Loved it. Loved it. I love the Jason films, but that is sad. Just so sad. It's so sad. Yeah, I still remember watching Jason X with my nephew. And that's what's crazy is that was going to be their next map, and their next Jason they were going to drop was going to be the space station. We had only gotten cabins in the woods and stuff, of course, and the next one was going to be the space station, and then they got sued. Yeah. We really wanted to watch a Jason film, which was amusing once he got sued. Dude, it was... Jason is one of my favorites, like, honestly.
Evil Dead or Ghost.
I'm watching the Lego stealing stuff. Oh, that's a crazy thing. It's absolutely wild what's going on with that. Like, the whole police working with the... Honestly, if I was the Mormon church, I would excommunicate those guys because, like, look, if you have people in your group that are acting horribly and taking advantage of your group, and you don't get rid of them, you don't call them out, then that means your group is defined by those people. That's the truth. So, these people that are not, I don't know, you guys get what I'm saying. My brain's a little fucked up because I've been awake for like 30 hours already, but I just couldn't sleep.
Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed.
Travis Northup needs to apologize for his reviews big time.
Dave the Diver never stopped surprising me. Easily one of the best games I've played this year so far.
That's crazy. Like, I'm not saying Dave the Diver is a bad video game, but it's not a 9 out of fucking 10. That's for sure. That's actually nuts to say. 9 out of 10 for Dave the Diver. All right, okay. So we're just kidding here. Nobody's being serious anymore. Nobody can be serious. All right, whatever. I can't imagine they'll have many friends left. They're like the opposite of every Mormon I've ever met. Literally. I used to have Mormons come over to my house so that I could distract them so that they wouldn't go bother other people, and I honestly liked their company. Great people, always honest, caring, nice. They were good to hang out with. They didn't judge me ever to my face. Like, they would tell me that they thought I was going to go to hell no matter what because I had a kid before being married and because I smoke weed. They would tell me that to my face. But they were always so kind about it. Like, even with that, with them telling me, like, because I would ask them, you know, it's not like they would walk up to me and be like, hey, you know you're going to hell, right? They would never do that. But when I would ask them about their beliefs, they would tell me, well, you are for sure going to go to hell. But the thing is, you can save your child's soul. You know, that's the kind of stuff they would say to me. Which I can actually really respect a religion that stands behind its beliefs like that. Especially one that, on average, are super kind. Their beliefs are absolutely nutty to me. Personally. Thinking that Jesus was American and that the Garden of Eden was in Joplin, Missouri, and that the original doctrine where they said that Native Americans got their skin change color because they used to be white but then they killed Jesus. This is pretty wild stuff, but they don't believe in that one anymore, by the way. But, you know, they're good people. I like every Mormon I've met in person.
Great review. Might pick it up. Thanks, IGN.
Story of Seasons are one
Dog, I almost accepted my place in hell and became a Mormon just because they were so nice.
Full life doesn't offend, but it sure doesn't impress either.
It's supposed to feel dated. Love this game.
Final Fantasy 16 really impressed me.
Great review. Fair points were made.
Diablo 4 is completely awesome to behold.
Agreed for once. 9 is an accurate rating.
Diablo 4, dog. See, this is why nobody takes gaming journalists seriously. Diablo 4 was not a 9 out of 10. I mean, Diablo 4 was a good game, for sure, but, I mean, that's a 7 out of 10 material. Anybody knows that. Diablo 4 was a 7 out of 10.
Great game for sure.
Octopath Traveler 2 is another
I think the problem is that the scale has gotten all fucked up recently, like over the course of time. Because people forget that 5 is average. 5 means that that's just an average game. It didn't do anything crazy, but it didn't fail all over the place. It was just a super average game. Like, but then if people see a 5 and they think, wow, that game is the worst game ever, it must suck ass. And that's not how the scale works. One of my favorite house parties ever, I was drunk as fuck chilling on the sofa, just chatting with an edge Mormon dude for like 6 hours. Oh, hell yeah. It's good for you. I think if you can admire people that have set in stone your opinion about it. Yeah, no, I always respect someone who stands by their beliefs. The thing I respect in people more than anything ever is, like, honesty and virtue. You know, like, honesty and belief in one's own morals and standards. Pizza shops were all shut, so they went and cooked pizza for me. Like, what the fuck? Yes, they will do that shit. They will literally do that shit, dude. I was hanging out with them for months. Told them I had no interest in becoming a Mormon. And, dude, they would still come over and, like, they would come over and DoorDash fucking White Castles or something. Like, DoorDash food to my house. Like, and pay for it, and just for us to hang out and stuff, and just for them to, like, and they were obviously trying to convert me, but they were not heavy-handed about it at all. And honestly, I feel like, because these guys were like 19 to 25, I feel like at the end of the day, these dudes were just happy to chill somewhere with a normal dude, for real. Because at the end of the time, they were just having fun. They didn't even hit me up. At first, they were hitting me up and asking me, like, if I ever wanted to go to church, when I was going to go to church, and then if they could come over. That's what they would start hitting me up with. A few months in, though, they would just start hitting me up and just be like, hey, can we come over, hang out for a little bit? I'd be like, yeah, come on over.
Fashion, 80-hour JRPG.
7 is a piss-poor score for this. It deserves an 8, at minimum. This guy was all over the place with his review.
Honkai Star Rail is the best free-to-play game of the year so far.
Amazing review. Amazing game.
This is a sadly lackluster follow-up to Modern Warfare 2019's refined take on a Call of Duty campaign.
If you don't, no, so, yes and no. That is part of it. If you don't join their belief, you go to hell, kind of. So that's part of it. But the other part is, like, Mormons don't drink alcohol, except for gin. They don't, like, consume caffeine, even. Like, so, if you're, like, doing any type of drugs, then you're probably going to hell. If you had a kid before you ever got married, you're going to hell. Like, that's like part of it. They're very Puritan about all their stuff, which might be why they're so kind, is because they're very worried about going to hell. But you could save other souls, yeah, basically, yeah. If it's too late for you, but you could save someone else. Yeah, they're very strict religious-wise, but they'll be friends with anyone and help anyone. Yeah, and that's the thing. You could tell them you're not going to be a Mormon, you have no interest in it, and they will help you pay your bills.
Paint.
6 out of 10.
Literally.
IGN died long ago.
Make you feel like Spider-Man?
Jesus, give this man a raise or something, and keep adding more people passionate like him for video game reviews.
But if you haven't already played it on Wii, the deluxe version is the ideal way to see what a traditional Kirby game is all about.
Another IGN reviewer that doesn't understand the Kirby series.
This is Ragnar, and
I don't know, I think 7 for that Kirby game is an exactly perfectly fine rating.
he is my large adult demon son.
Wow, that was actually an amazing review. I'll take my hat off and admit it.
So basically, if you give the game a good review, people will say you're good. Unless the game is really obviously bad.
Sometimes nostalgia makes things from the past seem better than they actually are.
I've learned over the years not to trust IGN. If you want a real review, go over to GameSpot.
The way he leaps off of rooftops and flips backwards
really
to
makes
face
you
the
feel like Spider-Man.
camera before falling into a headfirst dive is just full of the exaggerated swagger of a black teen.
Whoa, whoa! Whoa, buddy! I don't think you could say that, dude. Did they just say that? Wow, yeah, they just fucking said that. Holy shit, dude. Holy shit. Dog, yeah, we gotta go back for
Falling into a headfirst dive is just full of the exaggerated swagger of a black teen. It gives me goosebumps.
Dude, you can't say that. You're so clearly whiter than I am, bro.
Every time he does it.
I'm ghostly white. I look like Skeletor got a bleach job.
It's Metroid. I love those games.
Shit, GameSpot's so urban with the kids. Yeah, they're like, hello, fellow gamers, you know?
That was the best IGN review I've seen in a decade.
But he's hoping that Sega can show some better judgment in the series' future.
Here's a hint, IGN. It helps when you get a reviewer that actually wants to play the game they're reviewing. Like me.
Cyberpunk 2077's
Same. That was crazy, dude.
impressively flexible design makes it a truly remarkable RPG.
Great review. I'm sure the patches will fix everything. Best to wait a few weeks to play.
Shenmue 3, in all its oddity, exists.
You're criticizing the game. This is not a proper review.
While they're
Dude, by the way, Shenmue 3 was bad. It was a bad game. Cyberpunk is 10 out of 10. I'll fight everyone. True, except I will say that when Cyberpunk came out, it was a 5 out of 10. When Cyberpunk was released, the amount of bugs that were even in the game just on like the high-end PCs, low-end PCs, consoles, everything, Cyberpunk was a 5 out of 10 when it released, but now it's a 10 out of 10. I'll give it that. Perfect game, tons of fun. I enjoyed every second of it. I literally couldn't put it down until I beat it. Honestly. I'll admit it's flaws, but in my very biased opinion, it's still 10 out of 10. I mean, any game that I pick up and I don't want to play anything else until I'm done with it, until I've literally beaten the game, that's a 10 out of 10. That's a perfect game. Because that's the goal of a game. For me, a perfect game is not a game that has no flaws whatsoever. For me, a perfect game is a game that I pick up and play from start to finish, and I don't want to touch anything else. Honestly. 9.5 because I can't spend more time with Judy or the big ass one, Pan Am. True, 9.5, yeah. Can only have sex with Pan Am once, and it's like weird tank sex through like a connection cord. Alright, 9.5 out of 10. I wanted to see more Claire. I refuse to elaborate.
There are some mischaracterization opportunities. Age of Calamity remains a blind.
I'm guessing you liked that, the lady from the new Resident Evil. Not the newest one, but the one before the newest one. You know what I'm talking about? The giant vampire chick.
Fast from start to finish.
IGN finally gives a fair and great review. Super hyped to pick this game up tomorrow.
But while it may not be the most stylish or polished, its rugged and brutal look at the muddy business of Scandinavian expansion is as memorable and dense as an Assassin's Creed has ever been.
Thank you for making a non-biased review. Best review I have seen. Many others are obviously haters of Ubisoft.
But there aren't enough interesting weapons to keep the battles from getting dull.
This guy has obviously never played a serious Sam game in his life.
Pikmin 4 is an absolute failure of a Pikmin game, and an
What? I don't know if you guys have played Pikmin 4 before, but that's a crazy ass statement to make. That's a fucking
insult to the masterpieces that came before it.
Really enjoyed this review. It was clear the reviewer had great in-depth knowledge. And
Saints Row the third? More like this is the third time I've reviewed Saints Row 3.
Guys, ignore this review.
But the impressive graphical overhaul and welcome quality of life improvements make this the best version of Xenoblade Chronicles we've ever had.
Alright, maybe I haven't played Pikmin 4, now that I'm thinking about it. I think I played... I played the one on GameCube, I had one on the Wii, and I had one on the Switch. But I don't remember which ones they were.
This is actually such a terrible review. Did you even play the game's main story? You spoiled.
You know, I realized when I was watching the Tony Hawk video back, when I was editing it, that I mixed together games and their sequels constantly. Like, I mixed together Tony Hawk's Underground 1 and Tony Hawk's Underground 2 so fucking hard. When I went back and watched it, I was like, oh my god, I could not differentiate the two games.
Biggest plot points in this game to flex your endgame gear or whatever. You mispronounce names of major characters that you...
Mind-bogglingly cool, and an absolutely unparalleled way to virtually explore our world.
This review was phenomenal.
I will say the newest version of Microsoft Flight Simulator is the pinnacle of flight simulators. It's the great. I'm a fan of flight simulators. I know that's weird and dorky. I don't care. I love flight simulators. I love setting them up. I played it until my VR headset broke. I would literally play it in VR, and you can look around and like flip all the switches and just fly around. Really, really cool game. Really fucking cool game. I love the new Microsoft Flight Sim.
We need more reviews like this, IGN.
I think one of my favorite reviews are MMO ones because MMOs are impossible to review unless it's been out for 5 years. Yeah, true. I traded to play 2, but not enough towers. Yeah. Yeah, I do. I know what you're saying there. And I completely agree, dude. I will never forget that they don't have enough towers in that game.
Give this game a raise. But those few bright spots aren't enough to bring Battle for Bikini Bottom's passable but simplistic gameplay up to the standard of a 2020 platformer.
This is why gamers should review games, not journalists.
2 accountants walk into their job in 2001, and one says to another, "Holy shit, there's an airplane!"
Kingdom Hearts 3's Remind DLC is oddly jumbled.
Trash! Fire this guy! This is literally the worst review I've ever seen. They should have got a fan of the series to review this.
That said, I'm impressed by how much Square Enix has stuck the landing for one of my favorite long-running series. And that's why it's so exciting to see that Kingdom Hearts 3 is as full of...
You know that's supposedly why they took airplanes out of GTA 4? Was so that people couldn't recreate that, which is really annoying to me. I mean, come on, dude. Like, GTA is supposed to be about doing crazy shit. Speaking of, my daughter, alright, maybe I'm a bad father for this. I let my daughter play GTA 4 yesterday, and she fucking loved it, dude. I mean, I was playing GTA when I was like 5 years old. So, you know, she's 7. I think it's fine. Possibly unpopular opinion, Kingdom Hearts sucks. This is my opinion on Kingdom Hearts. I love the idea of it. I love the story that's going on and all the convoluted bullshit that's happening in the background. But playing Kingdom Hearts is so fucking annoying to me and not fun. Not fun at all. Maybe just don't let them finish the story or play much of that. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing too, is like I loved the story in Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, Birth by Sleep, 3, 5, 6 days, you know, I loved all of these stories, but then it just kept going and kept going and kept going and kept going and kept going. Ah, dude, it's too much. I played too much of that GTA 4. I mean, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. At 7, I was playing the duck shooting game. Duck Hunt? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Actually, I wasn't playing GTA 4 at 5 years old, obviously. Yeah, it hadn't come out yet, but I think I was playing, like, GTA 3, you know. I can't remember how old I was really when I started playing GTA. But the point remains. I saw South Park Bigger, Longer, and Uncut when I was 3 years old. So...
of heart as it ever has been.
Great job, Jonathan. Honestly, I don't know who else could have done this review besides you.